Hello?
Hi, is this William?
Yes, this is William.
Hey, how are you? This is Charles.
Hey, Charles. So yeah, I got the letter in the mail yesterday morning.
Okay. Yeah, so, because one of your emails had said that you had some contact about Christmas.
Yeah, it was literally I tried to I tried to send him something for Christmas. I sent him a drone, but I haven't had physical contact with my son in over 5 years.
Okay, so let me kind of bring it up to speed as to what's going on.
All right.
So, on October 5th, he was removed from the care of his mom and Joan Knox, which is her cousin, but
Yeah. Yeah, Joni told me about some of this last night.
Okay, so you've had some contact. So what's happened?
With Joni, yeah.
Okay, so what's happened is he was removed from their care due to physical abuse.
Okay.
Um, when he got to that, essentially what happened is there was some kind of issue while they were driving. They were taking him into the hospital because he was acting out, and he attempted to choke Alana with the seatbelt. So I don't know, this is where it gets kind of fuzzy for me, but somehow or another police got involved, whether they got pulled over because they were swerving or they stopped and called the police, but somehow the police got involved.
Yeah.
The officer talked to Dorian. Dorian told him about some abuse. They took him to the hospital. He got checked out. He had pretty significant bruising in his buttocks, in his back, on his arms,
Wow.
on his leg. Come to find out, they were pinning him down, slinging him around, which is where I think the bruising on the arms come from. He was hit with a belt, and when I say belt, I don't mean like what me and you would wear, like around our head, but I mean like a tool belt.
Wow.
So really thick, really tall.
All right. So yeah. She's got charges placed on her, correct? Hopefully.
As of right now, there may be charges coming. Right now, it's up to the prosecutor and the Kingston Police Department. Essentially, they're writing a report, gathering all the information.
Are you guys looking for a place to put him?
Well, that's kind of where we are now. So what has happened is he was placed. I don't want you walking into any of this blind. So I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, I know he's got some anger issues. I know that.
I placed him initially in a foster home on the 5th. That only lasted 2 days. He made some threats.
Yep, he has a temperament and he has autism. So, yeah.
We don't know about autism for sure. I believe he's probably on that spectrum. I'm going to get him tested, but he's never officially been tested one way or the other.
He should have been a long time ago. When he was a child, when he was a baby, he was exhibiting symptoms.
Yeah, but the problem is prior to the 10, 11 years old, the tests are inconclusive. So So I got him scheduled right now. They're working on setting up an autism test for him now.
Okay.
But at the first house, he was asked to be removed because he made some threats about killing the family in their sleep. They took him to the hospital, and then they didn't retake placement. So I moved him to a temporary placement.
Group home?
No, another foster home.
Okay.
But they were willing to take him, because this happened on a Friday night, so they were willing to take him till Monday.
How long has this been going on for? Since October, from what I heard.
October 5th is when he was removed.
Okay, so that's when he was removed. Okay, I didn't know if that was when the things were filed, because no one's told me specifics yet.
No, he was removed on the 5th.
I have an empty room. This was his home for 5 years before she left.
Okay.
He has an empty room here. He still has belongings here. He still has I still have his picture and calendar on the day he left. Like for a good 3 to 4 years, they straight alienated him from me, and I'm not saying just didn't let me see him when I wanted to. I'm saying they wouldn't answer phone calls. I got told that I wasn't the father, all kinds of just horrendous shit. That, so yeah. How was it? I'm assuming you guys haven't checked out the residence yet.
Which residence? Yours?
No, obviously not mine. I mean, I would have been here. No, hers.
When we removed him, I seen it. When we removed him, there's no reason for me to go back there because he's not.
All right, so it's not. Okay.
Basically, where we are, just a quick overview. He's blown through 4 placements. Which in the foster care world, as far as foster homes, I mean, it's 10 to 1 as far as kids needing placement versus available homes.
Yeah.
So the fact that I've even found 4 for him is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, he I know he has temperament issues, and I had those same issues when I was his age.
Okay.
So I've had to deal with that throughout my life. I figured it out, you know. I've also got, I've got a history with CPS, so I know how the foster home system works. I was placed in 10 different foster homes / group homes, so I know it's not easy.
Right. And so I've out a month getting him in services. Right now, he's got intensive home-based counseling.
Okay.
He's got psych through DHS out here in Cairo.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a trauma assessment that's coming up in January, and he has an autism assessment that's getting set up right now. I don't have a date for it yet.
Okay.
So we got public stuff in the mix, but I only have a place that'll keep him through December. So I'm working.
He's welcome here as long as you need a place. He's welcome here.
What we need to do, if you're on board,
yeah,
is we need to get a DNA test done.
No problem with that.
To make sure the father.
Yeah.
And then once we do that, in the meantime, I mean, it'll take a minute to set it up and we get results and whatnot. But in the meantime of that, because it's been so long, I'm going to talk to his counselor. If you're on board with this, I'm going to talk to his counselor, see if maybe you can participate in a couple of the sessions by Zoom or whatever it is they use.
Yeah.
To kind of start building a relationship back.
I do live 4 hours away. I live in Alpena. I know I mentioned that.
That's why I figure Zoom calls instead
of
like, hey, you drive 8 hours round trip down there, spend 20 minutes in a session.
Yeah. I have no problem doing all that. I've like I said, I've been trying to get in touch with him for 5 years, and until last year around spring, I had sent about $400 worth of gifts towards him, and that's the only reason they let me talk to him for about 3 weeks. Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Well, it's a ball game now because they're out of the picture as far as controlling things.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
What I'd like to do is, like I said, I want to do the DNA testing with you because once we get results for that, can't nobody say nothing.
Yeah.
And we can work towards placing with him. That's my time if I can get his counselor and you to kind of do Zoom visits or whatever with him.
Yes.
It'll make it easier to transition him into your home.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be able to, once we kind of get there, we can set up services in Alpena.
Okay.
Transition out that way, because what I don't want to do is I don't want to place him with you blindly.
Oh yeah, I kind of have a feeling that his temperament is pretty explosive. When they left, I had just gotten to a point where I was able to communicate with him, and then she uprooted him because of his surgery, and didn't come back. So I mean, I know a lot of that's confusing to him because I don't know what they've told him in terms of his dad or my attempts, which is, I have no idea. Like I have not had any ability to. I tried to contact DHS when it first all happened, and they told me they couldn't talk to me about the case because the husband was still in the picture, and that meant I had no legal rights in the state of Michigan. I also called Adam, which was supposed to be, Adam, the lawyer, attorney. The attorney, thing. And they said I had no rights in the state of Michigan because the husband was still in the picture, so.
Yeah, and that's it's just obscene to me. Ridiculous. Because I'm the father of the child, regardless of whether the woman is married or not. It's still my kid.
Yeah, and not to mention her husband. When me and Alana were engaged, her husband was all the way in Tennessee. For the entirety of him living here, her living here, me taking care of them both.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
It's a nightmare scenario.
So what I have going on is I have the husband down in Florida that's been divorced, but he didn't claim Dorian in the divorce, so he's still putative father. So he's filing something over there, like an amendment to the divorce.
Okay.
That'll get him all the way out of this case, no responsibilities, no nothing.
Okay.
And then with you, once I get your DNA, I can add you into it as father and place with you.
All right,
so
that's fine.
Right now, that's going to be the game plan. I can't promise you that it's going to happen quick. We're going to have to kind of take steps.
Oh, I know. It's the state.
Right.
It took my mom 10 years to get me, so.
Oh, no, we're not talking that kind of time frame at all. I'm talking a couple months.
Okay, hopefully. Yeah.
Because the longest part of everything that we're going to do is getting the results to your DNA. Once we get that back, then we add you into the case officially, and we place with biological parents. We try not to use foster homes and stuff like that if there's a bio parent.
Okay.
I ran your background check, your iChat, it came back clean. I ran your central registry, you're not on that. You're not on the sex offender list, so there's no...
I know, I actually combat people who are on sex offender lists.
Fair enough. You don't have any kind of thing that would hold you back, so basically once we establish you are dad,
that's all that I need, yeah. Alright.
Yeah, you'll have full parental rights, so that'll be the first thing we do. So what I'm going to do today is I'm actually driving to the office right now so I can fax out DNA requests. So you'll get a number, it might be an 800 number, I don't know, but in the next few days, answer scam likely calls or whatever.
Yeah.
And, if it's a scammer, just hang up. But it'll probably be like an 800 number you get a call from.
Some diagnostic service, okay.
Yep, and from what I understand, I just got from the prosecutor a minute ago, they have a representative in every county.
Okay.
So you'll have to go somewhere in Alpena. What county is that?
It's the Alcona. I believe it's Alpena County.
So it'll be somewhere in Alcona. I can't tell you where. Down here, they use the prosecutor's office.
Yeah.
But you'll go in, you'll set the appointment with them, you'll get your test. Dorian will test out here because he's in Tuscola.
Okay.
And we'll get him tested, and then they do the results or whatever. Once those come back, we'll be good to go as far as rights and add you to the case and stuff. So in the meantime of that, like I said, I want to build some kind of a reputation.
Yeah.
So, where you and Dorian are communicating and things are going well. That way, number one, you're aware of all the stuff that's going on, but number two, have a little bit stronger of a relationship. And then also, I should tell you, yeah, he's had a lot of violent issues and stuff, but here's my problem. I worked in a residential for 13 years before I went to the state. So I dealt with a lot of kids in psych meds.
Yeah.
He was on medications for somebody, I'm 6'1", 350 pounds. His medication would knock me out and make me a drooling zombie.
Yeah.
So what I think was going on, and this is just between us, but these are my concerns, is that the psychiatrist in Saginaw that was prescribing him his meds was not meeting with Dorian, had never physically seen him in person or had a conversation. He was just taking mom's word. And my thoughts are, if you're secluding a kid from the outside world and you're physically hurting him, why not dope him up too?
Yeah.
So as of 2 weeks ago, I had a med review done here in Tuscola County, and they switched the meds around, took away one medicine because one medicine can cause aggression if it's as a side effect. So they got rid of that med and they reduced a couple amounts of other ones, and I have not had one outburst, not one speck of violence, nothing getting broken, nothing. He's like a new kid.
And another thing is, like, he typically doesn't really do stuff unless, like, he's frustrated with something. Like, from when he lived here, it was always when he was frustrated from not understanding something. And you had to explain it to him. You had to explain in detail what was going on and why you were stating certain rules and this and that. Which